Panthers. Do the Leafs come home with a stranglehold on this series, or do the defending Stanley Cup champions tie this up and turn it into a nail-biter from here on in? The Leafs and the Florida Panthers, and the tears of the tangled twine, brought to you by Molson. Molson, everyone in. Joseph Woll starts again for the Maple Leafs. He's 2-1 in this postseason. 3.99 is goals against average, .869 save percentage. Sergei Bobrovsky's 5-3 overall, 1-2 against the Maple Leafs, an .875 save percentage, 2.94 goals against average. And every goaltender in this playoff run, it seems, has got a save percentage that is a lot south of their normal regular season one.
Yeah, it's not a race to the Conn Smythe Trophy, is it, for goaltenders?
Sure isn't. They're at center ice. Leafs to the left, Panthers to the right. We're ready to go. And for everybody that is trying to log us up, the puck is dropped and we're underway, and glad you're along with us. Leafs win the faceoff, and Tanev gives it off to Jake McCabe, who returns the favor. Up on the left wing to center, and now shot in by McCabe into the right wing corner. Marner into the forecheck. Got a piece of his man, but it comes to the line. Tanev trying to keep it in, couldn't. Now here's Marchand. Unable to get around Jake McCabe, though, as it goes around back of the net. And McCabe stepped into Marchand and then flattened his line mate as well. Tanev working into the corner, double teamed in there. Puck goes free for Rodriguez, trying to come out in front, and it is knocked away, or at least it was Anton Lundell, rather. And it comes to center ice, and now Nylander. Left wing feed, shot in by Pacioretty. Nylander finds it in the corner, couldn't get it in front. Tavares was there waiting, but couldn't get the puck to him. Pacioretty along the near boards, and now Barkov will get it out at center, and it is shot down into the Toronto end. One of the things Paul Maurice has worked on since the games in Toronto is to get the Barkov line away from Matthews' threesome. As it rolls in on goal, it's going to be tucked back of the net by Bobrovsky. Here's Barkov getting it up on the right wing and to the line that comes in over the line. A drop pass for Barkov. Centering pass didn't reach the net, and crashing into the goal is Pacioretty coming back on the back check. He shakes his head that he's okay, as the net was dislodged, and it goes for a face-off in the Toronto zone.
And there's a case where you say he hits anything that moves, and some things that don't. As Pacioretty starts this game, at least with John Tavares and Willie Nylander, we have seen Craig Berube switch that up and put Holmberg and McCann up for a little more speed to play with Nylander and Tavares as the game has gone on.
Face-off will be in the Toronto zone. Pacioretty had to jump, or he might have worn that crossbar right around his mouth, which probably wouldn't feel real good, even though it's not the old pegs. It's solidified enough. Leafs try to flip the puck out at center, but it gets past Pontus Holmberg. Played back down into Toronto territory, quickly sent back out at center, and it deflects down into Florida territory. Panthers in the far corner. Schmidt trying to play it along the boards, cut off by Holmberg. Sent in along the wall for McMahon. Back to Holmberg. Long shot wide of the net, comes around to the near wing, and it'll be brought by Verhaeghe to center to get it to the line and in. Now here's Sam Bennett with a shot. First save made by Joey Woll is a good one. Played out at center ice by Toronto. Going to be shot right back in again by Florida. Bouncing puck to contend with. Goes off a skate. Domi trying to get free on the left wing. Shoots it in. And there's a penalty coming.
High sticking is a call. Matthew Tkachuk has got his hand to his face, blinking hard. And it looks like the Leafs will be the first ones to kill a penalty in this game.
Well, we haven't seen the penalty. They haven't showed us yet. Oh, Domi trying to turn with it. Lifts his stick up. And Max Domi is going to get the high sticking call. The penalty kill is brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with new Civic Hybrid, proudly built here in Ontario. Visit your Ontario Honda dealers today.
Just a careless penalty where Domi tries to lift the stick over top of Tkachuk to go after the loose puck on the boards and clips him.
Panthers are 2 for 8 against the Leafs in this series. Draw one by Toronto. McCabe finds an opening, but then can't clear. It comes up on the wing, and the Leafs will get it to the line, but kept in. Over on the near side it comes. Verhaeghe closing into the slot, and a shot. That was deflected wide of the goal. Barkov on the near corner boards. Works it back to the net. Trying to get it out in front of the net was Tkachuk back to the blue line. Fed back in along the boards and around back of the net. It'll come to the near side. Barkov back for Tkachuk. Around on the far side, it'll find Reinhart, who gets it to the point. Now Barkov closing. Blocked again by Tanev, and it is out at center ice. The Leafs have blocked 20 or more shots in the last 4 games. Pass into the slot again. Another block. Another rebound. Cleared this time by the Leafs. Out and down the ice.
Hey, early going, he's only seen 3 shots, but Joseph Woll, Joe, looks sharp. Top of the crease, square.
Schmidt dropping it off for Rodriguez, who comes through center. Just to the line and in. Down the corner boards goes Ekblad. Ekblad getting it along the wall, trying to dig it free. It's pinned up against the boards by Benoit. Sent around to the far side. Just kept in by Marchand, who takes a hit there from Nyes. Puck into the corner. Benoit using his body nicely there, but Marchand gets it back to the net. Here the Panthers again with a centering pass. Back it goes to the point of drive. And that went off the skate of Rodriguez, I think, and went wide. Kept back at the point again. Kept alive on the far side for Ekblad. Ekblad getting it back into the slot. Works to the left wing boards. Back into the slot again for Schmidt. Over on the right wing side, a shot. That's wide, but it's trapped by Ekblad again with 17 seconds left in the penalty. Far side now for the Panthers, looking back to Schmidt in the slot, a shot. And that was wide of the net. Ekblad tries to center again, but it's cut off. And Nyes starts away with one man back. Nyes in over the line, trying to make a little move, then decides to carry into the corner. Takes a bit of a hit and is tripped. And now still battling for it on the boards. Tripped again, kept in by Toronto as the penalty is over. Leafs with it now with a shot from Tavares, who went off a stick and off the glass. Kept in by OEL to Riley. Riley's shot is on goal, stopped by Bobrovsky. Leafs continue to press. They've got a tired group of power play specialists out there right now. Leafs with it with Nylander. Turning and spalling, and now it's going to be out at center. And that'll allow Florida to get a much-needed change. Played back into Panther territory. Bobrovsky playing it around the boards. Up on the right wing, it'll be bounced to the line and out. Grabbed off again by Lawton. Lawton in over the line with a long shot that is going to be caught by Bobrovsky. And Lawton goes to the front of the net and takes a bit of a punch there from Mikula for his troubles. And a face-off will come in the Florida zone.
Something Florida is very good at. In the scrums, the straight arm little jab to the face.
While looking the other way.
Yeah.
How did that happen? I don't know how.
Yeah, that's the Matthew Tkachuk.
Yep.
I'll grab you under the chin and look away and then start.
Well, usually look at the official to see if he's looking at me.
Yeah.
And if not, bingo. Take that one.
Yeah, big penalty kill by the Leafs. By the way, Chris Tanev with some big shot blocks. Like I said, some tests early on for Joseph Woll looks sharp.
Want to thank Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue for getting the Blue Jay game over with in time, 9-1. Thank you. Nice to meet them. Play back at the point comes to Tanev. Tanev will send it down in along the boards. Flipped around the wall into the corner. Panthers unable to come up with it cleanly. Taken to the boards was Lawton. Back of the net. Trying to get it in front of the goal there was the Leafs, but it is played out at center ice now by Florida. And Greer will get it the rest of the way into the Toronto end. Puck around back of the net for the Leafs, and up on the wing it comes to center and played down into the Florida zone, but it'll be an icing call. Scotty Lawton had no chance to get there ahead of the defenseman Kulikov. So a face-off coming in Toronto territory.
You want to know how close these two teams have been. In the last 2 years, we've now, 8 playoff games in. The first one was a 4-2 win in Toronto back in 2023. Since then, 7 straight one-goal games. Of course, including the last game that went to overtime.
Leafs lose the draw, and a shot right on top. Another shot goes wide of the goal as their Woll made an excellent save on the first try. 4 shots for Florida, 2 for the Maple Leafs, although the Leafs ones were from fairly long range. Brought out now by Mikkola. He'll get to the red line and shoot it in. Played by Matthews, back of the goal. Spun around the wall, but it'll be cut off. Kept back in there along the boards by Sam Reinhart. Running after Benoit was a hit. The puck still back of the goal, and Matthews comes out of the scrum to play it ahead, and it'll be played by Marner to center. Across the line and tackled by Ekblad was, well, I don't know anymore. He's out of the picture frame. I thought it was Bobby McMahon, but I'm not sure.
No, I think it was.
Played ahead at center ice now by Domi. Domi's pass is going to be deflected by Yarncrook and go up into the screen and out of play. The face-off coming in the center ice area. Good save by Joseph Wall. And then the rebound went over top of the net. There is no score first period. The Leafs and the Panthers in game 4. Officials this evening, Gord Dwyer and Francis Charon. Ryan Gibbons and Ryan Davis are the linesmen. Somebody, of course, everybody keeps statistics. And Wes McCauley, the Leafs are 0-10 in the postseason when Wes has had the whistle and the armbar. Now, they're 1-0 when McCauley's been forced to be the linesman in a game.
Let's work on that.
Yeah, so we'll work on that. So now they're 1-10 when he's been on the ice. So how about that? Bennett shoots it down into the Toronto zone. Along the boards, played by Carlo to the back and played around on the wall. It'll not clear. Kept in by Kulikov. His shot deflected wide of the goal. And Bennett taken to the boards on a hit there by Domi. Spun up on the wing, and it is backhanded to center ice. Yarncrook races after it. Now here's Lawton coming through center. Lawton to Domi. Domi sends it into the corner. Lawton is around back of the net. Wow, he took a heck of an elbow there from Kulikov. Kulikov and he go down, but the puck is cleared to the line, but not out. Leafs are able to keep it in. Marner after it as the Leafs have made a change. Marner steals the puck. He got it back to the blue line, but it comes out at center ice. He was looking for Matthews, but it went by him out of his reach. Now it bounces right back down into the zone. Nyes, who had left the Leaf bench for a moment, back into the fray. Must have been an equipment situation, so kudos to Bobby Hastings and his crew. Kept along into the slot now, and Barkov's shot. That was deflected now. Pulled over from behind was Tanev. And Tanev gets the puck again on the near side and plays it ahead off a stick to center ice.
That was Brad Marchand with the hit, and then he ran after Tanev again seconds later.
Mikkola shoots the puck back into the Toronto zone. No score first period. Played ahead into the slot area, and now the Leafs bank it off the boards, and it'll be cleared out into the center ice area and down into Florida territory. Ekblad quickly sends it back the other way, and this will turn into an icing and an offensive zone faceoff coming into the zone. Listen to our friends from the Dallas radio on my way in today, and Daryl Ray, you know very well. You roomed with him. The man either has a thesaurus beside himself. He used 3 words I'd never heard in my lifetime, including animus. The coach.
That's when there's a vote and everybody votes the same way. It's
no,
animus.
that's unanimous. No, animus. Boy, you are some.
I will text him during the season. I'll catch some of the games on TV or radio, and I say, you're making us look bad.
First off, we don't know how to use it in a sentence.
You don't use any word bigger than marmalade.
No. Well, that's enough syllables anyway, right? Centering pass is cut off by the Panthers, and they animously get it out at center and shoot it in, and it's going to be covered up by Joseph. Now, you know what it means? I wrote it down because I had to. Ill will or hostility. Ill will or hostility. So he was using it as the coaches were animus to the officials. Ill will. Yeah, they were hostile. You know what? That's what a good color man can do. I wish we had one.
If I use a big word, it would only be to sound more photosynthesis.
I apologize, folks. I know that the two of us are dumb as hammers.
Northern Ontario, bred and born.
Yeah, but somebody hired us. Can you imagine? Flip to the line and not out. Kept in by Florida. Into the corner, backhanded by Gadjevic to the point. It comes. Long shot! Deflected just wide of the net off Nate Schmidt's stick. Schmidt looking for a pass back in the slot. Goes down around back of the net. Greer trying to get it back to him, and he does. Schmidt to his defense partner. Another long shot picked away there by Wall. Good pressure here from Florida. Morgan Riley getting it ahead. Leafs can do no better than to just flip it out and hope for a change. Brought right back in again by Schmidt, but he drops it back for Nosek, and it is offside at the blue line.
Well, we've had early pushes from Florida here so far in this game, and a lot of them, Joe, have come just off offensive zone faceoffs, where they've been able to win the draws and get pressure on the Leafs. And really, after Florida made it, or after the Leafs went up 3-1 in Game 3, it was pretty much all Florida after that. Even though they scored some goals that were fortunate breaks, more time you spend in the offensive zone, more opportunities to get those breaks.
One-handed by Lawton into the zone, or Bobby McMahon rather. They've changed things up. They got that comes to center ice and along the boards, and a good hit there. Oh no, maybe it wasn't a good hit, or was it? Oh, Verhaeghe is down. McMahon being moved off the scrum, but is that going to be a penalty?
I think so.
Only one reason.
I mean,
McMahon to the box.
It does seem. I mean, when you got a better look at the, was it Verhaeghe or Rodriguez that ran John Tavares into the glass the other night? Wasn't called. Boy.
So McMahon is going to the penalty box. The Leafs to the penalty kill again. Brought to you by our Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid, proudly built here in Ontario. Visit your Ontario Honda dealers today. Draw to the right of Joey Wall. 10:41 to go in a scoreless first. Back to the point. Seth Jones off a face-off win. Barkov got it into the corner. It comes back to the point again. Flipped along for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe, who was no worse for wear after the hit, to the left wing side. Barkov with a shot, and that was deflected in front of Wall and went wide. Puck comes to the line, and it's out and down the ice.
At the replay, though, it was a hit from behind by McMahon into Verhaeghe. Although Verhaeghe probably should have got an embellishment penalty if they called it like they did on Rodriguez in Toronto.
Brought to center ice now by the Panthers. Shoveled in by Tkachuk around the boards. Nye's got a piece of it, but it goes into the corner. Whoa, what a hit by Benoit! He steps into his man, and the Leafs are going to get it out and down the ice. Who was that he crumpled?
Boy, Sam Reinhart.
Sam Reinhart. Little turnaround, fair play here. Schmidt brings it to center and then across the line. Poked away from Bennett. Canova chases him. Puck goes into the corner now, and Lorenz is unable to trap it. Schmidt keeps it in at the blue line. Down into the corner. Marchand getting it back into the slot. A return pass for him was behind him. He recovers the puck. Back to Schmidt, and now winding and shooting. And that's high and wide, and the rebound is going to carry him off the boards to center with 33 seconds left in the penalty. Leafs are owed one. Two straight power plays here for Florida. Played off the glass and up to the line. Schmidt is able to keep it in. Now Bennett into the slot. Bennett closing. Bennett had it knocked off his stick by Brandon Carlo. 15 seconds in the penalty. Back to the blue line it comes. Ekblad to Bennett. Shot blocked again by Tanev. Back to the point to Schmidt. Schmidt to the near side for Ekblad. Ekblad holding. Far side it goes. Penalty is over. Back to the point. Schmidt. Near side Ekblad. Centering pass. Great save made by Wall. Coming across. The puck is in the slot. And the Leafs are going to get it out.
Best save of the series for Joseph Wall. That was an empty net. And he pushes right to left to get his left pad on it.
An errant pass is going to turn into an icing for Florida, and the Leafs have got to get a little bit of offense going, but wow, Benoit just stepped into him and flattened him.
That's shoulder to shoulder in behind the Leafs net. Both going for the loose puck. Benoit won.
How about that kid?
But boy, this save that Wall Joe just makes off Evan Rodriguez. I mean, that's into an empty corner before that left pad comes out and takes it away.
And the left pad that stayed on the ice.
Yes.
Right? Draw to the right in the Florida zone. Linesman got in the way, and the Leafs can't keep the puck in as it comes to center ice. Now they've got one of the Leafs was inside. Oh, wait a minute.
It looked like the gate opened.
Okay, yeah, okay. So here's my question.
What if he waits?
No. Yes. What if he stayed in the bench? Is he offside?
Don't know. Well, first of all, Florida better smarten up. I mean, somebody's going to get hurt. You leave a gate open? I mean, I spent
it was Nylander. Nylander's...
Yeah, I spent 8 years making sure that thing was shut.
Yeah, but half the time you had a hot dog in the other hand.
And a beer.
It is no score. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs control the face-off. Puck back in the Toronto zone. Carlo dropping it off in the near side for Morgan Rielly. Rielly got it ahead on the left wing for Tavares. Tavares spins off a check, works it back towards the blue line, kept in by Rielly into the corner for Pacioretty. Pacioretty had it in his skates. 3 Leafs in that corner trying to come out with it, but the Panthers get it free, and Gadjevic will play it off the glass on a bounce to the line, and now grabbed off again by Rodriguez. He sends it down into the far corner. Reinhart taken to the boards as the puck comes up on the wall and is going to bounce to the line and out. Panthers have it, and they're going to slap it right in again. There is no pretty plays made by the Panthers. They get the puck in and then go to work on the forecheck. Kept alive by Mikkola around back of the net to the far side. Nyes takes his man to the boards. Puck along the wall is now controlled by Toronto, but not cleared. It bounces ahead, and Nyes starts away on the left wing. He's going to play it in over the line to try to get around Jones, but gets into the corner to get a hit in on Mikkola. Matthews is in there as well. Back to the blue line. Kept in by McCabe. A pass now for Matthews. Oh, and a brilliant glove save made there by Bobrovsky. The Leafs' best scoring chance is right there.
Fortunately for Matthews, he had to stop it and cradle it before he could deliver it to the net. But I'll tell you something, Matthews might have got away with one on Mikkola. Because Mikkola converges upon the Leaf captain right after he stopped by Bobrovsky, and Matthews gave him a pretty good right to the chops.
Well, somebody on social media suggests we're giving a lesson in Danny Gallivan's School of English. It is a bumptious conversation.
We know what that means. Self-assertive or proud.
Oh, really?
To an irritating degree.
You know more stuff than you really, put on, Bouncing puck into the corner. Bennett takes his man, and the Leafs got hauled down as Matthews got tangled up. Now Verhaeghe in across the line. Couldn't get around Ekblad, or at least Oliver Ekman-Larsson. The puck comes free in front of the net. Verhaeghe can't get away. And another whistle. Is it a hand pass or a penalty? Oh,
well, we haven't seen either.
Nyes is going to the penalty. Could we get Wes McCauley back?
I was just going to say it. I'm trying to look at it here. I mean, it's...
Oh, he clamps onto the stick.
It's into the hands, and Verhaeghe clamps on. You can see him doing his best and then spins to look at the official. Well done. 3 straight penalties for the Leafs to start Game 4 here in Florida.
Well, the good thing is that the Panthers are a very clean hockey team and don't get involved in that sort of stuff. So that's good. Face off to the right. Draw one, and a centering pass was blocked. Hammered around the boards, but kept in at the far point. A shot! That was blocked as the stick exploded on the shot. And Scotty Lawton will bank it ahead and try to backhand it in over the line and get some assistance there from Steven Lorenz. Here we go again. 6:03 to play in the first period. Still no score. Panthers hit the line with their 3rd power play opportunity of the period. Tanev in against the boards. Got it to the Leafs, and a great play made there by Jake McCabe. Got it on his stick, got his head up, saw where the one defenseman was, and went the other way. Brought out by Reinhart for Barkov. Fed in on the right wing side. Sent into the corner. Now back to the point. Jones mishandles it, but is able to keep it alive. Down into the corner with 1:04 left in the penalty. Round on the far side to the point. Kept in by Florida. Centering pass. Intercepted. Played to the line and out. It'll force Reinhart back into neutral ice. Quickly ahead. That looked like it was offside. Doesn't matter. The Leafs have cleared it out and down the ice.
Hey, the second unit just as dangerous though as the first for the Panthers.
Schmidt dropping it back in the Florida zone as they hit the red line and in on the right wing. Flipped into the corner and around back of the net for Bennett. Bennett to Marchand. Marchand missed a hit there from Yarncrook. Now Marchand keeping it in with a pass deflected off a skate. Came right out in front of the net, still free. Marchand trying to get a puck to settle, and he couldn't. His shot was blocked. Stolen by the Leafs. Fired but not out. Kept in by Schmidt. Schmidt on the near side. Marchand back to Schmidt. Schmidt to his defense partner right wing side, and a shot gloved by Joey Wall with 5 seconds left to go in the power play. 4:27 to go in a scoreless first period, and Gord Dwyer and Francis Charon owe the Leafs. Put the marbles in the one pocket and make sure you know where they are.
We've often said that when it's gone the other way. Still 5 seconds left, so a big draw for the Leafs to be able to get out of this third straight penalty kill. But the Leafs have done a marvelous job clearing pucks, taking lanes away, block shots.
Nyes is coming out of the box in 5 seconds time. A face-off win here, and somebody better have their heads up. And the draw is won. But Oliver Ekman-Larsson can't do much more. Did he shoot the puck into the crowd?
He wound up and hammered it, and now the Ekman-Larsson is head down.
Well, the 4 referees are going to, or officials are going to discuss this.
Now this is reviewable now, but it is so hard to get a clean camera angle.
Well, we're going to get a look at it here. Well, it certainly didn't go off anybody, I don't think, unless it hit the glass. No, I don't think so. I think this has gone into the crowd.
4 straight power plays in 1 period. Yeah, it doesn't clip the top of the glass.
No. No, here we go.
Just say it.
Toronto penalty, 95, 2 minutes delay of game.
4 consecutive penalties to the Maple Leafs. This one is not arguable. OEL shoots the puck over the glass.
All he wanted to do after the face-off win was hammer down the ice and get Nyes out of the penalty box. 2 seconds. I mean, it took 2 seconds. And that's what's left on the 5-on-3. But again, another huge face-off for the Leafs, and Scott Lawton is going to come out with Tanev and Jake McCabe.
Nyes comes out of the box almost immediately. And the draw scrum, but it comes into the slot area. A pass into the slot, and a shot by defenseman Jones was deflected wide. Centering pass, they score! Why wouldn't they? Verhaeghe opens the scoring on the 4th power play opportunity that has been gifted to the Florida Panthers.
Fortunately, it's a legitimate one that the Leafs have to pay for. 13-4 shots, and it was Carter Verhaeghe who stuck down to the left of Joseph Wall, and then Matthew Tkachuk from the left wing side finds the seam across the top of the crease, just out of the reach of Jake McCabe and out of the stick of Verhaeghe, who one times it past Joseph Wall.
4th goal of the playoffs for Verhaeghe, 2nd by way of the power play. And in fairness to the Leafs, if they escape this period, one down, They have pulled off a Houdini. Leafs win the faceoff. Riley trying to play it ahead, and the Leafs need to get some offensive push going. As here's Pontus Holmberg into the corner, looking for pass in front of the net. It backhands into the corner as Carlo had jumped into the rush. Now Tkachuk working it over the line against Morgan Riley. Stops up. Now he drops it off for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe taken wide. He goes around back of the net. Knocked down. Took a dive in the corner as it comes back to the point in a long shot. That deflects into the corner. Leafs are going to get it airmailed high and out at center ice. Schmidt shooting it right back in again. Wall out of the net to slow it down. Verhaeghe gets the goal on the power play just a couple of seconds after the penalty to Nyes had evaporated. Riley back of his own goal. Got it ahead for Nylander. Dropping it back now for Brandon Carlo. Carlo's pass ahead deflects down into Florida territory. Pacioretty in pursuit. The puck goes around into the near corner. Tavares jams his man to the wall. Puck goes to the side of the goal. It's going to be covered up there by Bobrovsky.
That's right. He's the goalie, isn't he? We have not seen him much here in the opening period. How
12-4 the shots in favor of Florida.
How huge would it be if the Leafs could bang one in late here?
It is 1-0 Panthers. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590. The Fan and the Maple Leafs. Well, we can thank Lou Lamoriello for Carter Verhaeghe scoring for the Florida Panthers. He was dealt by the former general manager of the Maple Leafs for Michael Grabner. Center ice. Played into the corner by Rodriguez. Around back of the net. Riley escapes one. Now trying to find an open man. Gets it into the corner for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He's going to send it high, and it bounced over Nylander's stick. Puck at the blue line. Leafs trying to get to it, but it's a delayed offside, and it's going to be whistled down. It is Verhaeghe getting the goal, and they haven't got the assist.
Now, Tkachuk is going to get one. He's the one that threw it over to him. By the way, we can thank Lou Lamoriello for a lot of things. Can't we?
Yes. Being booted off the charter for one. Thanks, Lou.
So it began. Yeah.
2:35. Yes, the Odyssey began. 2:35 left to play here in the first period. 13-4 the shots favoring Florida, and they lead 1-0. They've had 5:25 of zone time. The Leafs 2 1/4, but the Leafs have had 4 consecutive power play opportunities for the Florida Panthers. Nyes had just gotten back on the ice. The goal came 7 seconds after his penalty had expired. As the Leafs get it back to the point, and a shot in traffic that deflected off a body and went wide as Marner was there. Cleared to center ice in tandem. Settles it down at the Toronto blue line to Jake McCabe. McCabe got it ahead and over the line, but Marner couldn't penetrate. Right back to center and shot back into the Toronto zone. Played up on the wing to center. Shot right back in again by the Florida Panthers. Leafs have it with Nyes. Getting it back to the blue line to McCabe. He's trying to get to the bench for a change of players. Yarncrook gets the pass up on the right wing and gets it out, but not into the Florida zone with any authority. Played back at center ice, and now here's Tkachuk in on the left wing. Minute 47 to go in the first period. Tkachuk back of the net, comes off a stick, bounces in front of the net off of Lawton, but the Leafs are able to escape. Lawton got to center but couldn't get it by the defending of Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe in over the line, flipping it towards the net. It goes wide of the goal. Now in the near corner, played ahead, and the Leafs are working out at their own zone as Lawton flips the puck high down into Florida territory. In goes Lorenz with a hit in along the boards, but can't get his skate on it. And Schmidt quickly gets it ahead, and Barkov gets it out at center. Right to the Leaf line and right back into the zone it goes. Benoit trying to get a hit in on Reinhart the way he flattened him earlier in the period. And it's back now back of the Toronto goal, given off to OEL. OEL gets it ahead at center, and it's pushed out at center ice. But again, the Panthers right back in. Chance here for Sam Reinhart, and that was stopped by Wall. Puck in the far corner again. Trying to come out with it is Evan Rodriguez. Around back of the net, and another hit there by Benoit. He's had a couple of bone crunchers, but the Leafs failed to clear clear. Here's Rodriguez back to the point, a shot, and that was deflected off wall wide of the net. Rodriguez sending it around to the far side.
Boy, Willie Nylander's got to be better on the clear there. It was a weak lob on the backhand.
28 seconds to go in the period. Marchand back to the point. Walking the line is Forsling. He plays it around back of the net. Leafs trying to come out with it. Punched around the boards, and Nylander this time will get it out. And down into Florida territory with 12 seconds left in the period. 9 seconds left. Panther fans are excited, and if I'm a Leaf fan, I'm excited. They have withstood some horrible officiating and 4 unanswered power play opportunities from Gord Dwyer and Francis Charron, and to be trailing only 1-0 and with a chance to recoup and regroup, you have to think that that's a bit of a win.
I mean the Domi call, a high stick's a high stick. It was careless. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, it's an automatic. But then you're going with some of the hits we've seen. Okay, you're going to call it on McMahon. But then you had the hook by Matthew Nyes was sort of the one that rubbed the salt into the wound. So from a Leaf standpoint, some of the plays you've got to be sharper on. But you would hope that if Nyes is going to be called on that, then there's going to be some soft ones coming back the other way.
Well, we will wait and see. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert standing by. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Leafs trail 1-0 after the first period on a goal by Verhaeghe from Tkachuk and Barkov as they score on their 4th power play opportunity of the first period, which was brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca. That's the good news, that it's only 1-0. They were outshot 15-4. A lot of that because of the power plays. Chris Tanev played 7 minutes and 46 seconds of that first period. Hard minutes. Yep.
On the penalty kill. But
he didn't get out of his own end very often.
It also does to the lines. Even the 4th line for the Florida Panthers, all less than 2 minutes of ice time in the opening period. McMahon, Holmberg, and Domi, all less than 3 minutes of ice time for the Leafs in the opening 20.
To the right, Florida to the left. The official has them at center ice. We get set to go, and the puck is dropped. And the Leafs control the faceoff. Playing it ahead, it's banked down into the zone. Matthews chasing but won't catch up to Lundell. Lundell will backhand it off the glass. Matthews kept it in. It goes in wide of the goal to the far corner. Marner in along the boards, and Nyes able to drag it back and trying to get it back to the point. Able to clear it back into the corner, but the Panthers have launched it high down into the Toronto zone. Tanev will take it around back of his goal. And Jake McCabe coming up slowly with a pass to McCabe. McCabe back to Tanev, to the red line, and across the line for Tavares. Tavares sweeps it into the corner for Pacioretty. Pacioretty gets a hit in along the wall. Tavares in there as well along the boards. Riley sifting around out in front of the net if they can get him the puck, but they can't. And it is off a skate on the far side. Nylander trying to keep it in, but it's off on the right wing side, and Verhaeghe gets it ahead to Sam Reinhart, who sends it in. Bouncing puck there from Wall, but Morgan Riley is able to play it out off a stick to center. Leafs trying to get it ahead, but can't hook up with Nylander breaking on the right wing. Panthers sent a long bouncing shot in on Wall, and he's going to cover up on that. And there'll be a face-off in the Toronto zone as a result. Game 5 is back in Toronto. The teams will get a couple of days off, and it'll be on Wednesday night, and that is a 7 o'clock start.
You've seen the graphic up. Them and the Florida Panthers have had a lead since their 2023 playoffs. They've had a lead after the first period. They're 15-0. But in this playoffs, they're 3-2 when scoring first. The Leafs are 2-2 when giving up the first goal. Florida did score first in Game 2 in Toronto.
Face off to the right of Joseph Wall. And the draw won by Florida into the corner. A centering pass goes off a stick, and it's going to come to center ice, and then a missed pass goes down into the zone, and Yarncrook hustling after it but can't get it away from Schmidt. The puck around the boards, and now a hit there on Bennett, but out come the Panthers, and it's shot by Kulikov into the Toronto end. Benoit around back of the goal. Laying it up on the wing and got it to the line and out. And now here's Lorenz in across the line, looking in front of the net with a shot. And that was knocked away by Bobrovsky. Brought back now by Tkachuk. He'll launch it into the corner. McCabe with a glance over his shoulder to play it back for Tanev. Tanev got it ahead, and the Maple Leafs will chip it out into the center ice area. Now Domi after it in the corner in the far side in the zone. Dropping it back, and it was off the skate of Pontus Holmberg. Now brought in now by Florida, in with a shot. Big pad save made there by Wall. Cleared on the backhand then by McMahon, and it'll get to center ice. Pontus Holmberg does a lot of really good things. And then you get a chance like that, and you just wish he had a little more skill to that effort that he provides. He has it again and over the line, but it's cleared by Florida and brought into the Toronto zone. Greer, shot kicked away by Wall. Another shot in front of the net, taken to safety by the Leafs, and Holmberg will try to move it up the boards, and he was tripped. Apparently not a penalty there. Ekblad shooting it right back into the Toronto end. Down the boards is Morgan Riley. Riley trying to get it up on the wing. Takes his man to the boards, but the puck goes free. Luosterainen around the boards to Marchand. Looking for a return pass. Knocked away by the Leafs, but not cleared. Into the corner, Morgan Riley. Sending it around the wall, but pinching there was Ekblad, but he misses it.
Oh, boy.
Wow, that's a generous icing because Ekblad pinches and he doesn't touch it. And Morgan Riley is upset about it as well. And I don't blame him.
Boy, Steven Lorenz very nearly cashed in. He hit Sergei Bobrovsky with that chance on the left shoulder. Bobrovsky's reaction, didn't know where it was. On the other side, Joe, 19 shots against Joseph Wall. He stopped 18 of them and has looked very sharp in doing so. Well out top of the crease.
Face off in the Toronto zone. Virtually everyone on the ice, over a minute and 20 seconds or so. Face off with Lundell and Domi. Domi trying to kick the puck back, but it's stolen by Marchand, and his shot went wide of the goal. Into the corner here, the Panthers with it again. Marchand getting it back to the point. A shot stopped by Wall. Still loose. Played back to the blue line. Near side for Jones. Jones hit there by McMahon, but the Leafs don't get it out. And now when they do, it's going to go by everybody again. And another icing is coming here against Toronto.
And we're creeping up in the 2-minute mark for this line out.
Morgan Riley with 47 career points in 66 playoff games is just 2 behind Boreas Salming, who played 81 playoff games and holds the record for most points by a Leaf defenseman in the postseason. Draw to the right, and Domi entrusted with the faceoff. And Domi loses the draw. It's back to the blue line again. Here's Kulikov sending it in along the boards. Reinhart around back of the net for Barkov. Domi chasing him. Barkov comes into the near corner. Back into the slot. It comes back to the point. Kulikov to his defense partner. Back to Kulikov on the near side. Shot coming high. Off a stick. Big hit by McCabe. Flattens one of the Panthers back of the goal. Now a centering pass at McCabe trying to block. Good pressure here from Florida. Played around back of the net into the corner. Barkov coming out with it, looking for a man, dropping it off on the left point. Pass across, and a stick in the way from Bobby McMahon gets the Leafs off the ice.
Boy, that might be the most important deflection out of play that the Leafs will have in this game.
Fortunately, it wasn't ruled to be intentional.
It feels like the Leafs have just had to weather one storm after the other with their shorthanded and multiple icings that have kept them in their own end.
They really have not had any zone time as you would yell.
No, not at all.
But they're down just 1. Face off to the left of Joseph Wall. Draw won by Toronto. Quickly played off on the right wing. Here's Nyes breaking the pass, looking for him, was intercepted, and once more it's sent back into the Toronto end. Wall shooting it around the boards. Cleared on the near wing, but not out. Pinching down there was Lundell to keep it in. Another good hit by Brandon Carlo. Matthews trying to get it away. It comes in front of the net. Back to the point. Wrist shot coming, blocked in front. still free. Nice. Trying to muscle it out. He does. And it'll go down wide of the goal and out of the net. Bobrovsky to play it away. Cleared up on the wing and out at center ice by Florida. Leafs with a chance to maybe get the puck in the zone, get some zone time. Marner plays it around to the far side for Matthews, is hauled down. Tell me there's a penalty here, please.
And I think if you're Austin Matthews, you might have gone down a little early and a little easily. And I think that is what Luosterainen is chirping to the official about right now. But that's just smart. It's a race going to the corner. A little bit of a slew foot, but Austin Matthews isn't usually that easily knocked off his feet. But yeah, it is a slew foot though. And we'll see what's going to go on here as Matthews had gone to the bench.
Got a little work done on the skate.
He's going to come out, and boy, you talk about stealing a game.
This is a huge power play.
This would feel like if the Leafs could ever get out of this one with a win, it would be stealing a game.
Draw won by the Leafs. Off the boards, Marner trying to keep it in, got it into the corner. Matthews getting it back to Marner. Marner lost the puck, but was able to keep it in momentarily, and it is shot down the ice now by Florida. Marner will go back to the puck. He starts out 5 forwards out here for Toronto. The drop pass finds Nylander. Nylander with speed through the neutral zone, drops for Matthews to the line and in. Matthews along the boards was tripped up and knocked down, but back on his skates, has it up against the boards. It comes into the slot, just kept in on a brilliant play there by Marner. Down into the corner, it goes to Nylander. Back to Marner, far side Matthews shooting, and that was kicked away by Bobrovsky. Back of the net now for Matthews. Off on the near wing for Nylander. To the point to Marner, far side Tavares. Far in the half board, still with it. Back to the point to Marner. Pass into the corner this time. Matthews with it. Trying to center a shot. That was blocked by Bobrovsky. Rebound in front of the goal. Knies couldn't stuff it in. Back to the point it comes. Marner keeping it alive. Far side Matthews far into the half boards. Still with it. Works it back, gives it to Marner, who's there. To Matthews, back at the blue line. Back to Marner. Pass on a slap pass in front of the net. Didn't work. Puck back to the goal. Leafs to retrieve it again. Great pressure here, but now needing to get a decent scoring chance. Puck and batted in front of the goal. It goes into the near corner. Trying to get to it is Lundell. Can't get it out. Nylander walks the line. Reverses his field. Down the left wing boards. Flips it back for Marner. Marner circles to the right wing. Still with it. Marner around back to the goal. Marner to the slot. Into the slot and drive. Whistle wide. Rebound side of the goal. Out to Marner again. Back to the point. Nylander holding, shooting. Off his stick it went wide. 6 seconds left in the penalty. Kept alive by Marner. Pass into the slot. Deflects to Matthews in front. Deflected by Tavares and it went wide. And the penalty is over. Luosterainen has the puck and over the line, and a shot went off of Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who was tripped. Now Luosterainen playing it into the corner. Great pressure by the Leafs. They had a couple of really good looks, but it's still 1-0. Blockered away, and out comes Max Pacioretty. Pacioretty a pass. Domi, Bobby McMahon trying to drive the net, and he had it knocked away. Big hit by McMahon on the far boards. Kept in for Pacioretty, but it's a glove pass that will have play whistled down.
They've only got the Leafs at one shot on that power play, but all kinds of opportunities throwing it to the net. Matthew Knies almost knocked in a loose puck.
My goodness, I think I've seen 3 in the replay already.
Yeah, all we've got is 1 up on the board, 21-6 the shots, but the Leafs came close.
Maybe it's a prop bet somewhere, and the guy is working his magic. Anyway, 1-0 Florida. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Second period brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. Leafs get it across the line, and Domi slashes it into the zone. In along the board's far side. Nylander couldn't come up with it. It's knocked out at center ice. And the Leafs have it again and brought on by Benoit. Benoit shooting it in. Round back to the net. Bobrovsky clears it back for Schmidt. Nylander down the board, couldn't get to it. It goes off a stick to center. And the Leafs have it again, regrouping at their own blue line. Up ahead for Max. Domi to the line with Nylander. Missed a hit as he got into the left wing corner. Takes in Schmidt against the boards. They battle for it. Nylander coming out with it with a centering pass that was blocked. And now it goes off a stick and out and down the ice. And it'll be Wall leaving it back there for Morgan Rielly. 11 and a half minutes to go in the second period. Only goal scored in the first on the power play by Florida. Tipped in over the line, and Yarncrook in pursuit in there against Seth Jones. Lorenz arrives and adds support. Can't drag it back to the net. Lawton couldn't come up with it, and the Panthers are able to make a quick pass to get it out at center and in over the line. Here's Evan Rodriguez trying to center. Bouncing puck goes wide of the goal. Knocked in front of the net. A big save by Wall. Oh, he had to cover up on Barkov, who got a couple of whacks at it, but Joey standing like a brick wall keeps that out.
Sam Reinhart makes a great play with coverage in behind Joseph Wall, behind the Leaf net. Still found a way to chip it out front. And Barkov was right there, but Joseph Wall has looked so sharp. Just coming after the Leafs with that decent pressure, but Brandon Carlo had the puck chip past him on the boards coming back. But he got caught flat-footed and tried to reach for it. Couldn't get to it, and the Florida Panthers had the zone easily.
Marchand moving earlier in the face-off. That's going to banish the centerman for Florida. And the Leafs control the face-off, and it is McCabe carrying it to center with a pass deflected in, and now McCabe decides to go in there after it. He pokes it around the boards to the near side. Knives is able to play it in a little deeper, then comes out with it. Knives back to get back to the point. Marner's shot blocked. Marner's going to have to hustle. Taylor can't get to it, but Marner does. But now here's a loose puck in front. It goes off on the wing and a shot. Blocked by Marner. A couple of great defensive plays made by the Leafs. And the Leafs get away with the penalty that should have been called. It was not.
Well, I think it was a bit of a dive, though.
Well, it was a trip. There was no two ways about that.
Well, it was loose to Raynham and McCabe. I think it was just stick on stick.
Long lead pass finds Nylander. Nylander trying to drive the net. He's in. Can't get a shot away until it was too late and too tight. Ekblad lays it down into the Toronto zone. Cleared around the boards by Wall, but cut off there by the Panthers. Ekblad gets down into the corner, sends it around to the far side, but it is Pacioretty getting it free, and Nylander with speed down the left wing and in. Nylander gets away from one check, is tackled. Penalty coming!
The Leafs have had some pushback here, and Pacioretty just took a punch to the face. And boy, Matthew Tkachuk. And now Ekblad has got Tavares. But the ref is right there to say, please stop doing that. I mean, right in front of the official. He's got the back of Tavares' jersey and punching him in the back of the head. The Leafs dodge a couple of bullets. And we got a commercial break, Joe, maybe, which is going to buy them some extra time.
Nylander with a great rush out of the corner, trying to cut across. He just failed to control the puck to get a shot. We haven't wished all of the mothers a happy Mother's Day, and we'll do that. How many hockey moms had to get up at ungodly hours, get their youngsters fed, get them packaged up and off to the rinks?
And how many of them are playing in Game 4 in Florida?
Exactly, yep. And how many of them would turn and say, absolutely, my parents are why I'm here.
We got a nice problem that they're trying to fix right at the top of the crease in front of Sergei Bobrovsky. And this helps the Leafs because the Nylander-Tavares combination was on the ice when the penalty was called.
So that work's still being done.
It's almost like a timeout.
Yep. Although they could have probably used it maybe midway through the power play. A little more after the timeout that they got already. So we're ready to go.
Leafs have won 63%.
Barkov will face off with Tavares. Or no, it'll be Reinhart facing off with Tavares. Reinhart getting a warning, I think, or someone's getting a warning. Tavares scrums the draw, had it in his skates, but couldn't get it back. And now here's Reinhart carrying the center. Now circles, brings it to the line and in. A pass back to him in the slot. Oh! Joey Woll, a brilliant glove save.
Boy, they are so dangerous, but the Leafs lose coverage. It's essentially a 2-on-4 coming into the Leaf zone, and Austin Matthews, Joe, is the one who kind of let Reinhart go as he does a little give and go with Barkov coming over the line, and Reinhart gets the puck back in the high slot, takes it towards the net, and Joseph Woll, another huge stop for the Leafs.
Nice shot on the screen of Joseph Woll's mom. Here, speaking of Mother's Day, out here's Matthews down into the corner, shot back at the net. It comes back along the boards. It'll come to the blue line. Matthews is able to keep it in. Into the corner for Nylander. Nylander back to the blue line, but it's out of the reach. The Panthers are so aggressive on the penalty kill. They do not let you set up on the outside. They're after you always, and it is cleared again by Florida. The Leafs' first power play was outstanding. Woll doesn't go to the puck, and now the Panthers have it again in the offensive zone, and a shot. Woll the save, and the rebound was knocked away, and the Leafs have it again. But a penalty coming here against Toronto for tripping.
And this is going to go to Mitch Marner, I think. But the Leafs, as good as they were in the first power play, were horrid on this one. As Florida cleared the zone, nobody came back. And eventually, it's the Panthers that get the opportunity out of it. Woll, another big save, and then Marner, when reaching for the puck, takes the feet out from under Nosek. And we're going to get a little 4-on-4, and then the Panthers will enjoy their fifth power play of the night. Isn't it amazing how you have one good power play, and then the next one, it's flat.
Yep.
4-on-4 for 57 seconds, and one of the Leafs' best 4-on-4 players, Marner, is in the penalty box.
8:47 to play in the second period. Still 1-0 in favor of the Florida Panthers. Puck around back of the net, but Oliver Ekman-Larsson overskated it. Played around back of the goal. Woll doesn't go to it, and Riley does. He'll get it up on the wing, but it's intercepted, and Marchand with a shot that Woll catches, and he will hold on.
Well,
the biggest difference in Joe Woll and Anthony Stolarz is how well Stolarz handles the puck and how aggressive he is to go out and handle the puck. But Woll has been the difference in this game so far.
Oh, easily. 26-9. The shots now favoring the Florida Panthers. And we're just past the midway mark. You can imagine 52-18 being the shot differential. It'd be pretty scary from a Leaf standpoint.
Draw is won by Toronto. McCabe goes back of the net. 36 seconds left in the 4-on-4. McCabe lost the handle on the puck, and Marchand was almost gifted with it. Lawton goes around back of the net.
Leafs have really hit a dopey spell here.
Here's Lawton skating in over the line. Had the stick knocked out of his hands, but it is cleared out at center ice now by Florida. They'll bring it in over on the right side. Here's Lundell into the corner. Tried to play it back. It goes high off a stick and then deflects to the near boards. Lorenz is able to punch it out, but now the Panthers will go to the power play in 3 seconds time. Lorenz almost intercepted the pass, but it's back down into Florida territory, and here is the 5th power play opportunity of the game for Florida. Ahead on the right side for Reinhart. Shot in around the boards to the far side. Cleared around back of the net to the near wing for Tkachuk. Back to the point it goes to Jones. Jones on the left wing side, and a shot. That deflects it into the corner. Chopped at but missed by Benoit. Coming in front of the net. Great play by Carlo to intercept the pass and deflect it into the corner. Kept alive, and Carlo trying to get to it. Can't. It comes to the near wing. Veregi into the corner. Trying to get it back, and it's going to get past everybody and come out at center ice. Reinhart waits for teammates to get onside. Sends it in on goal. Stopped by Woll as it comes around to the near wing. 12 seconds left in the penalty. Jones back into the slot. Now a wrist shot by Barkov is blocked away by Woll. Clipped on the boards. It'll clear to center ice. Panthers right back in, sending it high into the corner. Carlo got it up on the wing, and the Leafs with skating room to center. Brought to the line and in. Dropped off on the right wing side. Leafs get Tavares over the boards, and it's down into the corner, but no support there. And the Panthers will get it ahead, and Reinhart's going to get it out. Right wing side for Dmitry Kulikov, who shoots it into the Leaf end. Down the boards far side. Trying to control it is Rodriguez. Chipped along the boards by the Leafs and punched to the near boards. Grabbed off by Morgan Rielly and fed ahead at center. Nylander couldn't get around his check. And it is cleared right back down into the Toronto end. Wall giving it to Morgan Rielly, who gets it ahead, and now Oliver Ekman-Larsson. A bank pass to center. Tavares over the line. Nylander lost it. Tried to dive and knock it into the slot area for Pacioretty, but he missed it. Back come the Panthers again. To the line and in on the left wing. Pass into the slot. Still with it. Backhand at the net. Stopped by Wall. Pushed ahead. Pacioretty will play it off the glass to center. Forsling to his defense partner, Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad's pass gets to the line and in on the left wing. A shot, kick save by Wall. That was stopped, and another brilliant save by Joey Wall. Cleared out and down into the Florida zone. Matthews is in pursuit. Tries to get a hit in on his man, but missed. Then Marner got upended, and when he got upended, he wiped out one of the Florida defensemen. Played right back down into Panther territory. Marner into the corner, hoping for a loose puck that Nyes is trying to develop. Matthews can't come up with it. Nyes was filled in by Seth Jones. Puck back to the net. Here's Marner for Nyes. Nyes works it back into the corner for Marner. Back to the blue line. It goes to Benoit, to his defense partner. No shot at the net. Cleared in back of the goal. Cameraman lost it there for a moment, but we got it with a shot from Benoit into the chest of Bobrovsky. A fairly easy save. Stops play.
Leafs have to find some way to generate some offenses. They have not been sharp or consistent. Boy, we're just seeing it again. Kulikov, an elbow on Mitch Marner, goes undetected in the Leaf zone. I mean, this is right to the back of the head. That stuns the Leaf defenseman.
Sure was. Face-off coming in the Florida zone. Domi facing off. Nosek is waved out. Greer will move in. And Domi won the draw. Back to the point, but Rielly couldn't keep it in. It'll come to center ice. The Leafs will regroup it back in their own zone. Pass up on the wing, deflects to the line, but not out. Now here's a long lead pass looking for Morgan Rielly. He sends it in, and Bobby McMahon held up there by Nosek as it goes around back of the net. Leafs trying to come out with it. Domi is able to play it back to the point. Wrist shot coming in traffic. That was deflected wide. Rielly couldn't keep it in. It's down into the Toronto zone. Brendan Carlo gets there to chip it along the boards to Morgan Rielly. Leafs with it again to the left wing side for Bobby McMahon. McMahon gets around to the defense, gets down into the corner after it. Couldn't get it away from Aaron Ekblad. Played to the line on the far side, but Tanev couldn't keep it in, but McCabe gets back to recover the puck for him. Now he'll play it back of the net, and Chris Tanev has it under control back of the Toronto goal. Well, he did. Now he gets it to McCabe, who feathers it around on the near side. Tavares got it ahead, but couldn't get it into the zone. Brought back in over the line by Rodriguez. Rodriguez tied up the centering pass, went off of Tanev's skate and went wide. Panthers get it back to the point. They've got 29 shots on goal. That's a 30 right there as Wall makes the save. McCabe playing it ahead. Nylander gets a break. Will he try to carry it in on goal? Had it knocked off his stick at the last second. He couldn't pull away from the Florida defenseman.
That was Forsling that was able. He was half a step behind, but enough to get stick on stick and knock it off Willie Nylander. But that's all the Leafs have really had, is these short spurts and opportunities outside of the power play. As Jake McCabe, I mean,
what
a
a
backhand pass and wasn't able to get a lot on it either, Joe.
Yep,
but that was maybe forehand.
Pacioretty got there just a little bit late, and Bobrovsky by then had put the glove on it. 3:12 to go in the second period, and the Leafs hanging around, trailing 1-0, but being outshot 30-13 Joey Wall is having the game of his season. The draw is scrum. Leafs come out with it. Back to the point to Morgan Riley. Pass in. Look at the deflection looking for Matthews. Couldn't get to it. Matthews unable to trap it, but now has to go off his skate. Matthews centers. Oh, and Nyes just failed to deflect that, and a penalty is coming.
And as we always ask, to who?
Who? Yes.
Is it Nyes got knocked into the net by Seth Jones. But who has got the...
It is Lundell getting the call.
And it's tripping, so I'm not sure we saw that.
No, I didn't see that.
But 2:57 to go here in the second period, and this is huge. Oh, this is a bit of a weak one. Leafs will take it.
Was it
but
on?
It was on Matthews. It was on Matthews going to the net.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dick was there. That's when Matthews threw it out.
Almost looked like he was diving to try and get the puck out in front. Yeah. Wasn't it? All right. Well,
it's a gift.
Yep, we'll take it if they can do something with it. Draw is won by Toronto. Punched into the corner, but cut off there by Mikkola. He fails to get it out. Nylander to Nyes around back of the net. Nyes stops up. Tried to center, goes off to the point. Now Marner a shot. That's blocked and the foot race is on. Marner trying to get back. Getting a piece there of Reinhart and a shot. Stop. Another shot. Wall was able to make that save as well.
Oh, boy, the danger of 5 forwards on the power play.
Here's Marner bringing it out. Looks to drop it back. Does now. Nylander, not much speed, and the pass went off a leg, and now Nyes shoots it in. Slowed up by Bobrovsky, and it'll be cleared by Florida. .205 left to play in the period. 1:06 to go in this power play.
Second unit coming out already.
Ekman-Larsson ahead for Domi. Domi's going to shoot it in, and Bobby McMahon going in to provide some forechecking. Puck is knocked back along the boards. Domi couldn't get it, but it comes to the point with no one there, and Ekman-Larsson has to go back to center ice to recover.
By the way, Bobby McMahon, 20 games going back to the regular season without a goal.
Here's Ekman-Larsson in with a shot. That's going to go ramping off the stick of Gustav Forsling up into the screen. And a face-off coming in the Florida zone. With 1:37 left to play in the period. Marner got in and was looking for the one-timer, but it was in his feet. And that's what created the rush on the short side. And then, boy, Wall had to come across again, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been the story of the game right now.
That was Barkov who had the extra chance, I believe.
The second unit stays out for the Leafs, although Nylander has joined them now.
40 seconds to go. Nylander got the puck back to Morgan Riley. Riley in the middle of the ice with a shot is deflected by Domi, but it was off the skate wide. Nylander against the boards trying to keep it in. Along the wall is Domi, but it is grabbed off by Mikkola. Fed around the wall to the far side. The Leafs will keep it in. Down into the corner. Now into the slot for Morgan Riley. Down low. Shot in front of the goal is knocked away. Great scoring chance there for the Leafs.
Boy, Riley found Domi at the side of the net, but Bobrovsky, I think, gets a piece.
Pass in front, intercepted, and shot down the ice again by Florida. Penalty expires with less than a minute to go in the period. Lead pass deflects to the blue line, and it is cleared back into neutral ice. Panthers get across the line, but are taken out of the play there by Scott Lawton. And I believe it's going to be an offside call here that will stop play. What a chance Domi had.
And Morgan Riley just ended up with the puck inside the line, middle of the ice. And I mean, just walks right in, and he's got Domi wide open. Oh, Domi never does get it to the net.
No.
If he's a right-handed shot.
That was, I think the puck bounced on him too. It wasn't on the ice. It went off the sort of the shaft of his stick instead of the paddle. 46.6 seconds to go in the period. Jake McCabe got it ahead. Chopped up, but broken up, and now a fallen player by the Leafs. But a great play made there by McCabe to break up the rush momentarily. A long shot goes well wide of the Leaf goal. Puck comes free. Scott Lawton getting it around back of the net for Jake McCabe. He has difficulties with it. He'll get it back to Chris Tanev. 22 seconds left in the period as the Leafs get it to center. Kulikov. Long lead pass off a stick and into the Leaf zone. Dozen seconds left in the period. Tkachuk with a hit there on Tanev as it's pushed ahead and down into Florida territory and quickly shot right back out again. 4 seconds left in the period. Right wing side bounces in front of the net, and the horn ends the period with Bennett trying to get loose in front of the goal.
You know, it used to be that you got down to the last 8 or 9 seconds of a period and you thought, okay, that's it for this one. Let's get ready for the next one. Until
Have you watched any of the series this year, Mr. Powell?
Until this year's playoffs, whether it's Winnipeg scoring late to tie it or the goal last night by the Vegas Golden Knights, Riley Smith, with 0.4 seconds to go, wins it for Vegas. So you no longer look and say, 9 seconds. This is done because a lot can happen.
Well, Matthew Nyes has had a hand in this over the course of the season.
Yeah, he did that in Pittsburgh, yeah.
At any rate, Leafs outshot 14-8 in the period, 29-12 after 40 minutes. But they're down 1, and Joseph Woll has been the story of this game. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph. Armin Zagarian is handling the operation, and Tristan Marcogiani is pushing all of the buttons for us. As the Maple Leafs trail 1-0 after 40 minutes of play and have been badly outplayed. 29-12 are the shots favoring the Stanley Cup champions. Verhaeghe from Tkachuk and Barkov on the power play. The Panthers have had 5. The Leafs have had 3. Their first one was fairly effective. Had some good scoring chances. The last 2, they've given up 5 shots against. Leafs to the left. Panthers to the right. Joey Woll's the story. Puck is dropped. We're underway. Panthers win the face-off. Mikkola will shoot it down into the Toronto zone. Far side, back of the net for Tanev. Quickly sent around, and it's tipped ahead, and Matthews kicks the puck out at center ice. That's right back in again by Seth Jones, but it's blocked. Nyes tries to work back in the other way. Gets his man into the corner. It comes up on the wing, though, and out at center ice comes Lundell. He'll flip it into the side of the Leaf goal. Brought into the corner now by Marchand. Played around back of the net for Lundell. Into the corner and back of the net to the near corner, and it'll come to the point. Brought out now by Brandon Carlo. He couldn't get it into the zone. Riley gets it ahead. Here's Yarncrook in with a shot, but it deflected off a stick and went harmlessly wide. Panthers get it back out at center. Near side for Carlo to try and play it ahead. Shot in by Yarncrook, and in goes Lorenz after it. Lorenz against the boards, but the puck comes free. Panthers get it again, get it to the line and out. Be interesting to see if the Panthers sit back, trying to protect the 1-goal lead. The Leafs need to generate some zone time and some offense. They've got it down there now, but it's pushed up on the wing, and then a shot from an angle went wide. Centering pass in front for Nylander. He couldn't get his stick down in time. Panthers will get it out at center ice. Played in over the line then by Rodriguez. And it is Benoit getting it back up on the wing, and a bouncing puck comes to him. It'll roll off a stick and into the zone. And Bennett with a late hit. And another sneaky little move by Bennett. And Ekman-Larsson comes over and gives Bennett a shove.
Well, the thing is, it's a late hit on Ekman-Larsson, but Ekman-Larsson almost falls on Joseph Woll. So again, you want to talk about protecting the goaltenders, but the little
pass to Nylander just off the heel of his stick and couldn't get contact.
The Leafs just have not been sharp. I mean, I would say that Game 3, the Florida Panthers were good. Once they got through the first 8 or 9 minutes of that game, they were good. This game feels like the Leafs have been bad. Execution, power play. Only one guy has been outstanding, and he's stopped 29 out of 30 shots.
Bennett waved out of the face-off circle. Verhaeghe moves in, and the draw won by Toronto. Tanev off the glass to center. Bouncing puck along the near boards for Pacioretty. Tavares went for a sprawl, and it is shot back down into the Toronto end. Again, Wall not able to handle the puck cleanly, and the puck now comes free, and Nylander starts out. Willie gets it up on the right side for Chris Tanev. Tanev, a left wing feed, knocked out of the air, though, rather adroitly there by Bennett. And it's brought back now by Florida in on the left wing with Mikkola. A shot gloved by Wall just at the top of his left pad. And he will stop play to bring a face-off again in the Toronto zone.
You know, and having said all that and comparing the two games, the Leafs are in exactly the same position they were in Game 3, which is down a goal going into the third period. Florida has not lost in the postseason. They're 4-0 and leading after 2. The Leafs 0-2.
So what you're saying they do?
I'd say, I think they haven't lost in their going the third period lead.
25-0. Draw and a pass, deflection on goal, and Wall is able to cover up on it. Greer trying to stick his stick in between the legs of the Leaf netminder.
Another face-off win by Florida Panthers.
Draw in the Toronto zone to the left. Domi taking it. And the draw won by Toronto. Lifted high to center ice. Bouncing puck to the line. Cleared back out at center. Trapped by Domi momentarily, but played right back down into the Toronto zone. OEL goes back for it to play it up on the wing and find Bobby McMahon. Dropped off for Domi, who hits the line to the left wing side. Played in by Pontus Holmberg, and a shot by Domi was well wide of the net. And it's cleared by Florida out at center ice and down into the Leaf end, but no icing. Played around back of the net for Benoit. Benoit, rink-wide pass. OEL banks it off the boards and in over the line for Bobby McMahon. McMahon loses an edge and sprawls in on the backboard. It goes into the corner for Nylander. To the point, a shot! That may have gone off the crossbar from Brandon Carlo from the right point. Panthers get it back in over the line. Dropping it off there for Forsling, who gets it in front of the goal. And it's cleared on the boards by the Leafs away from Marchand. Back around the boards to the far side. Tipped off. Nylander tried to tip it by the last defender, Lundell. He might have been away if he'd have made contact with it. Back come the Leafs now. Carlo to center. Flipping it towards the net. Scooped aside by Bobrovsky. Tavares centering it. That goes off a second. Comes in front of the net. A backhand. What a save, Bobrovsky. His best of the game. The Leafs had the tying goal in the crosshairs. And Bobrovsky comes across. Here's Tanev to the line. Shooting it in. Tavares in against the end boards. Drags it into the corner. Hips it along on the wing. Out of the corner comes Marner. To the point for McCabe. A shot. That deflected off a body in front of the net. Tavares was there. He gets it again back of the net. Trying to get it away and does. Tavares looking for an outlet. Tries to reverse his field. But it's knocked away from him but stolen back by Marner. Fed around the boards. It'll find Jake McCabe. McCabe to the left point. Sends it back to the goal from whence it came. But it gets by a couple of Leafs. And the Panthers will get it out at center ice.
How many Leafs have we seen just fall?
Now here's Marner stealing. He gets in over the line. Sorry, Jimmy. No. Had to interrupt. There might have been a scoring chance. Go ahead. Now it's out at center.
We've seen 4 times Leaf players just falling going after a loose puck.
Ice could be a factor here. There's no question. I mean, the temperature and everything else. Yarn Cook gets it into the offensive zone, but can't make a play with it. And it's cleared to center ice now by Florida.
Are we getting another penalty?
An interference call is coming. Oh, and Rodriguez looks like he might be.
Boy, Ekman-Larsson, I think, is a Leaf that's going to go. And Rodriguez, is he trying to milk this? Or remember, he got an embellishment call for getting drilled earlier.
Bennett is chirping the Leaf bench. Rodriguez is down right in front of the bench. I did not see.
No, we haven't.
The infraction, and we haven't seen a replay of it. Rodriguez looks like he's, and it's Oliver Ekman-Larsson who's going to the penalty box. Rodriguez still down on his haunches. Now the officials.
Oh, so
are
now they're going to try to
this.
discuss whether it's going to be 5 or not. You know, we've got to get concussions out of the game, right?
Rodriguez is up and heading to the bench. And is he heading to the dressing room?
Now, if they call it a major, they can review it. They're trying to watch.
Well, it was a pretty good bit of interference.
But that was more into the chest, was it not?
Yep.
Under review. I thought it was shoulder to the chest from the angle that we saw. Yeah, it's definitely interference.
Wow. Here's a big part of this game about to unfold right here. The referees Gord Dwyer and Francis Charon are trying to decide whether this is a major penalty.
We've only really had the one view of it. I'm going to take another look. Is it? And
the puck was flipped towards him, right? Well,
is it not the left shoulder he catches more than the head?
I think it's just the chest. I think he catches him right in the chest. Well, Brad Marchand was the first one up on the bench.
Yeah, he was saying, I know how to do that.
Well,
I mean, it's definitely an interference penalty, but I'd be hard pressed to say this is a 5-minute major. Although we have been wrong.
There we go.
Upon fitter review, 95 for Toronto is assessed a 2-minute minor for interference. Power play, Florida.
Okay. That's how we adjudicated it. But here's a huge penalty kill for Toronto. Down 1, they can ill afford to be down 2.
Way too much time spent in the penalty box tonight for the Leafs.
Yep.
Bill Zito, the general manager, doesn't like that. Although I'm sure he was okay with Ben Bennett on Anthony Stolarz and some of the other hits we've seen.
Yeah, didn't even get a penalty on that. Elbow to the head of the Leaf netminder that has had him out of the series since that time. Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Barkov scrum the draw. Tanev got it to the side of the net. The Leafs are able to slash it out and down the ice.
Leafs have not had a shorthanded goal in this series.
Brought out by Seth Jones. Looks to drop it back and does. Barkov gets it off on the right wing, and it'll be shot in. Verhaeghe down the boards against Matthews. Matthews couldn't get to it. It deflects to the far wing. Tkachuk gets it back to the net. Verhaeghe will crack it down in the near corner. Good hit there by Matthews, but it doesn't clear. Jones on the boards now to Barkov, closing with a shot off of the skate of Tanev. Pucking along the wall. Tanev can't get to it. Back to the net. McCabe to Tanev. Tanev to Marner. Off the glass and down the ice it goes. Bobrovsky playing it ahead, trying to catch the Leafs in a change. But the Leafs get their forwards exchanged and defense. A centering pass, knocked back into the corner. Good hit there by Benoit. The puck is free. Benoit's had his stick being held there, but the puck goes back to the goal. Centering pass off onto the right wing. It comes back to the point to Jones. Jones to the left wing side, Verhaeghe. Back to Jones. Wrist shot coming, and it's off the mark wide. Chopped at and cleared by the Leafs out of center. And Nyes has got a breakaway. He's in on goal. Shoots out, Bobrovsky. They've got a piece of that. Nyes trying to get away from behind the net. Can't. Oh, what a chance that was. My goodness. Panthers, too many men on the ice here maybe, but no call. Remember the call we had for too many men when the Leafs were on the power play. Tanev will ice the puck. Got it ahead. Lawton, backhand try off the stick of Schmidt. It went wide. Leafs having a good penalty kill here. Pass to Carlo, shooting high over top of the net. Leafs keep it in with Tavares. And it's going to be whistled down offside.
Boy, penalty kill was great, and Matthew Nyes with the breakaway. And again, I don't want to keep pointing to the ice And Reinhardt did come back, but it seemed, did that not flip up on him just as he was about to shoot it? The puck seemed to go on end before he delivered it to the net and put it high and over the right shoulder of Sergei Bobrovsky.
Matthew Knies, who has scored on a breakaway in this postseason, comes up firing it over top.
I don't know how much.
Shoulder and the post.
I don't know how much gas he had either. Why could just shoot instead of trying to make a move like he did earlier on a breakaway in the series against Bobrovsky?
Panthers send it down into the Toronto zone. Wall out of the cage to backhand it around, but it is cut off there. Back to the net. Trying to come out with it is Sam Reinhart. Pinched to the boards then by Carlo. It comes back to the point. Forsling sends it back into the corner. Looking back with it. A long shot then by Reinhart went wide. Forsling backhands down into the corner for Barkov. Tied up by Riley. Puck along the boards. Leafs trying to chip it free. Can't. It's around back of the net with time and space for Brandon Carlo. And Carlo will skate it out as the Panthers are changing. Riley dropping it back for Brandon Carlo. He'll get it returned. Morgan Riley with a pass through neutral ice in on the right side. It comes. Backhanded by Matthews into the corner. Marner trying to get to it. Got it freed up momentarily. Battles along the boards. Matthews trying to come out of the corner with it. Couldn't. It comes back along the wall. Matthews unable to keep it in. It'll come out at center. Larson trying to get it on the boards. And it is played down into the Leaf zone. And an icing call is going to come here against Florida with 11:41 to go in the period as Knies got tackled in the offensive zone.
Well, I think he lost an edge again. I looked at the temperature in Fort Lauderdale is about 28 degrees. And that's, you know, buildings are air conditioned now, but still. That is going to affect the ice surface. We're not going to have games like we did in 1975 at the Odd in Buffalo where you've got the fog.
A lot warmer down there than it is here in Toronto. Hey, that was a great game of golf yesterday. I had a lot of fun with you and Brad Park. Pat Park. Puck is grabbed off now by Nylander. A backhand to the net is swallowed up. There was a traffic jam in front provided by Bobby McMahon.
So now we've seen the switch again, right, with McMahon replacing Pacioretty on this line with Tavares and Nylander. If you like, McMahon goes right to the, oh, pardon me, this was...
Domi, yeah, this was the Domi line.
It was Nylander that was on the line with Domi and McMahon. Boy, this goes off. This might have gone off Aaron Ekblad in front and right into Bobrovsky.
Face off to the right of Bobrovsky. A high-scoring series up to this point. But here it's a one-goal game, 1-0. Riley at the left point. Can't send it to the net. Banks it behind the goal to the near corner. McMahon there, back to the net for Domi. Domi trying to center, and it went off the side of the goal, and Nylander unable to keep it in. Brought out by Florida, the left wing side, Verhaeghe. Sent to the side of the net and back to the goal. Here the Panthers with it again. Trying to send it to the front. Intercepted by OEL. He'll reverse it for Domi. He goes around back of the net. Max gets it ahead. Turning back with it, Morgan Riley. To Oliver Ekman-Larsson, return to Riley. Changes coming for Toronto, and Riley will circle back. Now he gets it ahead. Right wing side for Marner. Pass onto the left wing boards for Matthews. Backhanded to the net. Knies was there, but he couldn't get a bouncing puck to behave. Cleared out into the center ice area by Florida. McCabe for Matthews. Pass hit a stick. McCabe carries on, though. Up ahead, Tanev. A pass to the line for Marner. Would have been a delayed offside. And Florida takes advantage to stretch things out. Mikkola playing it out at center and down into the Leaf end. Wall will leave it there, and now here's Simon Benoit coming straight up ice to center. Shoots it in and decides to go in there rampaging after it. Puck goes around to the far corner, though. Panthers are going to get it out. Brought on by Lundell. Long shooting goes right in front of the Leaf goal. Brawling to knock that into the corner was Benoit. He seemed to lose an edge as the Leafs get it out. Brought on by Pontus Holmberg. Trying to flip it in, and that went nowhere. And the Panthers are going to get it out at center ice. OEL to Riley. Drops for O'Leal. Up on the right side. Holmberg down the boards. Just gets it into the zone. Cleared by Kulikov. Out at center ice again. Riley has it once more. To Oliver Ekman-Larsson. O'Leal holding into the Toronto zone to allow a change of players. Nylander over the boards along with Tavares. Nylander with the puck in the neutral zone. Stick handles around one. Stick handles around two. Got it to Riley, who pumps it around back of the net. Oh, a big hit there from Pacioretty. Tavares with the loose puck. Couldn't get it in front to Pacioretty, who gets it back to the blue line. Left wing side, wrist shot coming. Bouncing in on goaltender Bobrovsky, and he will hold on.
Tavares might have got a piece of that, Joe, to redirect it, but instead of taking a sharp turn off the skate blade, it slowed it down and just kind of looped into the Florida goaltender. Oh, it hits Tavares. Then Nate Schmidt bounces down, but had no steam by the time it got to the net.
9:03 to go. A better period for the Maple Leafs here, but they still trail 1-0. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Florida won. The Maple Leafs no score. 9:03 to play in the third period.
Leafs are actually out shooting Florida, Joe, here in the third, 7-3. And they might have updated that 8-3.
Face off to the right in the Florida zone. Scrummed but played back to the blue line and wasn't done fairly, so they'll do it all over again. Matthews to take the face off for Toronto against Lundell. And Matthews won the draw cleanly. Back to the blue line to Riley. Sent back into the slot. A shot taken by Nyes. Went off a stick high into the near corner. Matthews got there to try and block it, but it comes up on the wing. Luosterainen is going to get it airmailed out and down the ice. And it won't be icing, as it'll be right on goal. Riley has it back at the Toronto net. Both teams are changing. I think they are. A long lead pass to center. That went astray, and it's going to turn into an icing call here against Toronto.
I like the fact the Leafs are trying to throw everything to the net. The tying goal in Game 3 from Morgan Riley was a wrist shot from the right wing board, stopped by Bobrovsky, but then bounced in off his defenseman Seth Jones, which kept the Leafs' hopes alive for the moment.
Draw to the right in the Toronto end. Matthews facing off with Barkov this time. I don't know what Matthews did, but he got a warning. And the puck is dropped, won by Florida. Wrist shot goes over top of the Leaf goal. Barkov in the far corner, trying to play it back to the point. Another shot coming! That was blocked in front of the goal. Wall may have got a piece. The Leafs send a high alley-oop pass to center, but it's grabbed off by Florida. Left wing side, brought in by Nosek. Pass into the slot area, trying to find Reinhart, and it got away from him. Jake McCabe trying to work it out at center. Nylander to Tavares. Back for Willie. Nylander slides back and circles. Still with it. Got it ahead, deflected to the line, but not in. And now quickly back the other way is Sam Bennett. Closing in on goal! Scores! I'm nuts. We got to see the replay of this because there was a leaf in the back check that just was not there.
Yeah, Chris Tanev. The puck went on the far boards, and Chris Tanev had to make a decision. Go to play it or back off. And this is Willie Nylander. Threw the puck to the blue line, and it was chopped up. Jake McCabe was the one that got caught off ice a bit, but it was Tanev that then had to decide. Do I race for the puck, or do I play it as a 2-on-1? He played it as a 2-on-1, but Bennett, because McCabe kind of flew past him, Bennett was able to hold on, pull up, walk around Wall, and snap it home. And this feels like a 5-0 lead at this point of the game.
So Sam Bennett, public enemy number 1, has got his 5th goal of the postseason. The Leafs bring it in over the line with Domi. Domi in with a shot, and it's gloved by Bobrovsky. McMahon in front of the net getting his stick up. and getting punched in the face for his troubles by Kulikov.
He did a pretty good cross check before that.
And Tkachuk is arguing with the official over something.
People. Matthew
pointing
Tkachuk's
now.
pointing.
Pointing fingers. That's scary.
Series is over.
Joe Wall had no chance.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Jake McCabe coming back, Joe. You got to take Bennett. As Tanev had taken the pass away.
Well, I see what Tkachuk is upset about.
And Tkachuk was taken down by
Bobby McMahon, wasn't it?
Could be an interesting 7 minutes and 31 seconds.
Yes, it could. But this is turning into what we thought it would be, a long series. And right now, the home teams are holding serve. Draw in the Florida zone. Still time with 7:29 to go, but the Leafs have got to strike quickly. Oliver Ekman-Larsson trying to keep the puck in. Florida launches it high to center, and Riley chops it back in over the line. Quickly played right back out again and down into the Toronto end. Wall back of the goal, loses the puck. He'll get some help from Riley. Back to the point it comes. Wrist shot coming wide of the net. Back of the net for Morgan Riley. Riley to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Larsson looks up ice and gets it ahead. Left wing side for Nyes. Shot into the zone and into the corner. Matthews rubs his man out. Nyes takes his man out, but can't get the puck back cleanly to Benoit, and it's cleared to center ice. Leafs back in their own zone. Brandon Carlo dropping it off for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg to center, and it's backhanded down into Florida territory. Into the corner, a centering pass by Lorenz went wide. Back to the point it comes. Carlo off the stick of McMahon into the corner. Now Lawton can't come up with it, and it is pushed out at center ice to the Leaf blue line. Brandon Carlo will settle things down. 6:13 to play in the third. Now 2-0 Florida. Lawton tried to play it ahead to Nylander, but it's picked off by Nate Schmidt. Crossed the line with a shot that went over top of the Leaf goal. Played up on the boards by Benoit. Backhanded to center ice. Leafs looking for an outlet to the near wing. Lawton can't get it into the zone. Florida back the other way. Verhaeghe in with a shot taken by Kulikov. Swallowed up by Wall. Face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Sam Bennett has extended the Florida lead to 2-0. Ekblad gets the lone assist. It is 2-0 Florida. 5 minutes and 46 seconds. The Leafs have got to catch a little lightning in a jar here. Down 2-0.
And seen some miracle comebacks here in the playoffs.
Draw won by the Panthers. A weak shot is handled by Wall. 36 shots on goal for Florida, as they'll shoot it right back in again, and Nosek sends it around on the far side. Tipped along the wall by Nylander, who was able to deflect it out at center, and Pacioretty gets in over the line, trying to find Tavares. Tavares works to the near boards, too well covered there. McCabe is able to get it in a little deeper for Pacioretty. It'll come back towards the blue line, but Barkov is going to get it out at center, and it's going to be played down into the Toronto end. 5:08 to play. Keep an eye on Joe Wall here as much as we can. Played down into Florida territory. McMahon goes in there after it, but it comes around to the near wing. Yarncrook back for Domi. Centering pass went by everybody and goes sailing down into the Leaf end.
That was about 8 feet off the ice, wasn't it?
You had to catch that with your teeth. Leafs get it back down into Florida territory. McMahon getting an angle in there on a hit on Jones. Puck is carried into the corner and swung around the boards and out and down the ice into the center ice area by Florida. Brandon Carlo. Up the middle, off a stick, into the Florida end. No pressure, though, on the defense. Cleared by Forsling, but trapped by Marner. Marner gets it back around back of the net. Nyes ties up his man, trying to come out of the scrum with it. Matthews trying to add support. It goes to Marner. Back to the point to OEL. Back to Marner. Marner into the slot. Matthews can't shoot it. Back to Marner. His shot is off a leg and goes harmlessly wide. Marchand sending it out and down the ice. 3:55 to go, and I would imagine Wall will be heading to the bench here shortly. Rink-wide pass for Marner. Shot in, but off a glove. Controlled by Florida. He can't leave now, or at least I don't think he has. Back down into the Toronto zone it goes. Wall still in the net. Nosek into the corner. Too well covered there. It's up against the boards, though, and they'll be quite happy to just pick off some time, and they get the puck again. Reinhart down along back of the net, getting away from Pacioretty. Back to the point. They'll go D to D to find Kulikov. Shot deflects wide of the net, and a shot from a sharp angle is swallowed up by Wall, and he will hold on with 3:16 to play in the third period.
Good thing Wall covered up. Max Pacioretty had his stick broken in half. He's in a pretty vulnerable position there. It was on a nothing play. Just got caught up with somebody in front of the net. Must have been a fracture already, but boy, that almost stuck under the closer look at it. Almost stuck under the right arm of Wall.
Off his arm, off his pad, off his pants rather, and then smothered. And Berube is signaling to Wall that we get it out. You're coming. 3:16 to play in the third period. The Leafs trail by 2, and that second goal, Bennett's, is just enormous at this time.
Simply because the Leafs haven't been able to generate anything.
No,
right?
Leafs had 31 shots the other night. They have 20 now. Puck in the Toronto zone. Back of the net, Jake McCabe waiting for teammates to swing. Now he starts up with a pass up the middle, but it's picked off and shot right back down into Toronto territory. Oliver Ekman-Larsson starts out. He looks up ice and finds the captain. Matthews swinging through center and across the line. Matthews trying to split the defense, but couldn't. Got it chipped up along the boards. Played around the wall into the near corner, and the goaltender is out now. Back to the blue line. Leafs just keeping it into Marner. Marner down into the corner for Matthews. Centering in front. And a deflected wide to the far side to Nylander. Back to the point. Just outside.
Again, I know I keep bringing up the ice, but there's another one just back to the point, and all of the puck's bouncing when it gets to Morgan Rielly.
And Marchand has a word for Rielly on the way by.
And when the ice is bad, it favors the team with the lead, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Well, and it favors the team that shoots the puck in and doesn't try to score on the rush as often as some others. Their game plan is made for that kind of circumstances, and that kind of, now a timeout has been called, I'm assuming, by the Maple Leafs. 2:31 to play.
Imagine Joseph Wall would go halfway, look to the hash marks, based on who wins the face-off, whether he's going to go right back to the bench.
Matt Murray is the backup goaltender. At this point, Anthony Stolarz has not skated.
No.
Now, I don't know if he did it all today, maybe privately, but with 2 days off, we will see how that changes.
Nothing has been confirmed as per the injury.
Oh, no.
But from what do
you think it might have been?
Surmise, usually 7 days symptom-free?
Yeah.
Or you can resume activities. Although the way Joseph Wall has played tonight.
He has not been the issue. By far. He has stood on his head to keep this game as tight as it has been. Tavares wins the draw. Brought by Nylander and shot in, and Wall heads to the bench. Back of the net, Ekblad. Playing it to the line. It gets by Rielly. And the Panthers have an empty net to shoot at, and Marner makes the save. Marner's pass. Up ahead, Tavares. Launches it high in the air, batted out of the air by the Panthers. They get it ahead again. Trying to get it in over the line is Nosek, and he had it knocked off his stick. 2 minutes to go in the third period. Marner will drop the puck back. Nylander coming through neutral ice. In on the right side for Tavares. Back into the corner for Willie. Nylander can't get to it. It's cleared around on the boards. And I think Morgan Rielly was over there, but he couldn't glove it. It's down into the Toronto zone. Minute 44 to go. Riley, long stretch pass, intercepted by the Panthers. They send it towards the net, but Marner blocks that.
Leafs having trouble even getting it into the zone.
Now they'll shoot it in. Down the boards it comes to the line, but kept in, and a wrist shot coming. Rebound! Hit the side of the goal. Tavares in front of the net. Back to the point it goes. Nylander back to the near side to Marner. Marner into the slot area on a wrist shot. Deflected by Bobrovsky wide. Back to the net it goes. Jam play at the side of the goal. Bobrovsky down. Puck is still free. Leafs keeping it in with Nylander. Near side for Marner. Down into the corner it goes. Matthews back to Marner. A pass. Deflects into the corner. Tavares is taken down. Nyes in against the boards trying to poke it free. It's wedged up on the wall. Nyes can't get it out. Battles with the Florida player who's got it wedged up there. Great job being done by Nikola. Puck is still free against the boards. Finally, Matthews gets it back. Cleared out at center ice by Florida. Half minute to go in the game. Icing going to be called against the Panthers.
The Panthers sure do a lot of complaining to the officials, don't they?
They're very
The
good at
team
it.
that plays tough.
Hit by Tavares. Oh, when he had the rebound, but couldn't get his stick around Bobrovsky.
I think Seth Jones might have just got a piece of him.
So it appears that there will be a game 6 in this series, which means they come back to Florida on Friday next. And game 5 will be Wednesday. Draw to the right. Although the way things have gone in this postseason, I wouldn't be surprised if Leafs scored 2 in the last 22 seconds to tie the game. But they'll have to do it from their end of the rink. 16 seconds left. A pass in over the line and down into the Florida zone. Sergei Bobrovsky going to throw a shutout at the Toronto Maple Leafs as Domi runs over a man. And now we've got some late punches being thrown here by the Panthers. The horn is gone. Apparently nobody decided to blow a whistle when this... Oh, Marchand's got his gloves off. Somebody please straighten that rat out.
He's just trying to throw a shot at McMahon with the linesman in between, and then threw a shot at Ekman-Larsson.
Willie Nylander and
Matthew
Tkachuk having a discussion.
He's having a warning discussion there.
Brad Marchand's going to be okay. He made sure he didn't get too close to McMahon.
Well,
who's getting up in the pile underneath everything?
You know, you've got Ekblad going after Yarncroc.
Oh, and the chant of USA is echoing through the arena in Florida.
The governor of Florida, when talking about the lack of tourism from Canadians, said maybe they'll come down here to see the Stanley Cup. And you thought, well, not if ice gets rid of all your Canadian players first.
Well, at any rate, the Maple Leafs are taken to a 2-0 whitewashing, and the 3 stars are brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today.
And by the way, Max Domi got one in late. They're a pretty good hit from behind. So we'll go with the 3 stars of the game. We'll go star number 3, Sergei Bobrovsky. Got to give him credit. Was perfect on the 22 shots that he faced. Star number 2, Joseph Woll. Gave the Leafs an opportunity to win a game that they were not very good in. He stops 35 out of 37 and will take the easy way out and give Carter Verhaeghe the game-winning goal in a power play in the opening period. As star number 1, you can't take 4 penalties in a period. And Ekman-Larsson one is a penalty. You got the Domi one, a high stick, is a penalty. McMahon was a hit from behind, but boy, we've seen a lot of boarding calls even tonight. You know, players being drilled into the glass, maybe from behind, an elbow maybe that Mitch Marner almost caught from Kulikov in the second period. And then the Matthew Nyes one was the chintzy one. They did give the Leafs a couple of freebies back the other way, but you can't start a game with 4 straight minors in the opening period, and the Leafs were never really able to get any kind of rhythm after
and
that.
outshot 15-4 because of that. Yeah.
And they their first power play of the night was good, and after that, I mean, the best special team's opportunity they had was Matthew Nyes and a shorthanded breakaway.
All right, well, it is what it is. They have held serve as far as home ice. Now the Leafs have to hold serve in Game 5.